Are they breathing?
I have no idea. I'm not inside the house. It's closed. It's locked. I can't go in. But I see them. She's laying down on a floor from the window.
Okay. Are they moving at all?
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
A cloud of mystery hangs over the shocking deaths of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife, whose bodies were discovered in their Santa Fe home. Authorities say no one had seen the couple for days, and by the time they were found, they had been dead for some time. Now the sheriff isn't ruling out foul play. With more questions than answers, investigators are piecing together the final moments of the 95-year-old Hollywood legend and his wife. Oscar-winning legend Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found dead in their sprawling Santa Fe estate, and what initially seemed like a tragic accident has now taken a chilling turn. Early reports suggested no foul play, with speculation pointing to carbon monoxide poisoning. But in a jaw-dropping twist, authorities now say their deaths appear suspicious enough to warrant a full-scale investigation. According to a newly released search warrant, 2 maintenance workers made the grim discovery. "I think we just found a deceased person inside the house," one of them told 911, his voice filled with panic. "Are they moving at all?" the dispatcher asked. "No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody up here really quick." The workers had arrived to find the front door open. Hackman's body was near the kitchen, and investigators believe he collapsed suddenly. Meanwhile, Betsy was found on the bathroom floor, an open prescription bottle nearby with pills scattered across the counter. One veteran investigator found the entire scene deeply unsettling. "I've handled thousands of death investigations," he said. "It's an anomaly. 2 people don't just drop dead at the same time without a major cause." Adding another layer of mystery, the couple's beloved German Shepherd was found dead, while 2 other dogs were still roaming the property. "I find it interesting that one of the dogs was allegedly found in a closet," a source noted. Authorities also revealed the bodies showed signs of decomposition and even early mummification. "Right now, everything is on the table," one investigator confirmed. "The autopsy is going to tell us a lot." The 2-time Oscar winner, Gene Hackman, left an unforgettable legacy with over 80 films, cementing his status as one of Hollywood's most versatile actors. From his gritty, Oscar-winning performance in The French Connection to his iconic turn as Lex Luthor in the original Superman films, Hackman captivated audiences for decades. Later generations came to love him as the eccentric patriarch in The Royal Tenenbaums, proving his mastery of both drama and comedy. His final award show appearance was at the 2003 Golden Globes, where he was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award, standing at the peak of his legendary career. "Top of the world, Ma," a phrase that once echoed through his unforgettable roles. Hackman wasn't just a powerhouse in drama and action. He had an unexpected comedic brilliance, shining in Get Shorty and other films. "He could do it all," one industry veteran remarked. His range was insane. He looked like an everyman, but he brought something special to every role. In 2009, Hackman stepped away from acting, citing health concerns. Last year, in a rare public sighting, he appeared frail, using a cane and leaning on his wife for support outside a restaurant in New Mexico. As Hollywood gears up for the Oscars, the industry is in mourning. Gwyneth Paltrow, his Royal Tenenbaums co-star, posted a heartfelt tribute with a throwback photo and a broken heart emoji. Meanwhile, investigators continue to search for answers. The New Mexico Gas Company tested all the gas lines in and around the home, finding no leaks or issues, only deepening the mystery surrounding Hackman's shocking death. When news first broke of the shocking deaths of acting legend Gene Hackman, his wife Betsy Arakawa, and their family dog, police initially stated they saw no signs of foul play. But as more details emerge, the questions surrounding their tragic end are only multiplying. Here's what we know so far. According to the Associated Press, 95-year-old Hackman was found in a mudroom, while his 63-year-old wife was discovered in a bathroom next to a space heater inside their $3.3 million mansion in a secluded part of Santa Fe, New Mexico. A potentially key clue? Investigators found an open prescription bottle and pills scattered on a countertop near Arakawa, but the type of medication remains unknown. Importantly, authorities have confirmed there were no gunshot wounds, no bruising, and no visible injuries that would suggest a violent struggle. So how did this happen? Hackman's daughter initially suspected carbon monoxide poisoning and told TMZ as much. But according to the AP, the local gas company tested the home and found no leaks or traces of carbon monoxide. The fire department also ruled out toxic fumes. That said, investigators haven't completely dismissed the possibility. Could carbon monoxide have seeped in through cracks, windows, doors, or even a doggy door? NBC reports that 2 other dogs were found alive on the property, adding to the confusion. A detective working the case also noted that exposure to gas leaks doesn't always produce immediate symptoms, leaving a sliver of uncertainty in the investigation. With more questions than answers, one thing remains clear. Authorities aren't ruling anything out. The mystery surrounding Gene Hackman's final moments is only deepening. The morning felt like any other in Santa Fe as a maintenance worker arrived at Gene Hackman's sprawling estate. But as he stepped onto the property, an unsettling feeling crept over him. The front door was ajar, and an eerie silence filled the air. Something wasn't right. Peering through a window, he caught sight of a lifeless figure sprawled on the bathroom floor. Panic set in as he fumbled for his phone, calling for emergency responders. His voice was rushed, shaken. There was no movement inside, no sign of life. Minutes later, authorities arrived to a scene frozen in time. Hackman was found in the mudroom, still dressed in casual clothes. A shirt, sweatpants, slippers. His cane and sunglasses lay nearby, as if he had been in the middle of something before suddenly collapsing. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, lay motionless in the bathroom near a space heater, an open prescription bottle on the counter, pills scattered beside it. The workers admitted they rarely saw the couple and hadn't had contact with them in weeks. There were no signs of forced entry, no visible injuries, and nothing to immediately suggest foul play. Just 2 people and a beloved family dog, gone without a clear explanation. What had really happened inside that house? The mystery was only beginning. Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa had been married since 1991, their decades-long partnership marking a quiet, enduring love away from the Hollywood spotlight. But now, the legendary actor's passing has left the industry in shock, with tributes pouring in from film greats like Morgan Freeman, Antonio Banderas, and Clint Eastwood. A 5-time Oscar nominee and 2-time winner, Hackman was widely regarded as one of the greatest actors of all time. His career spanned over 40 years, delivering unforgettable performances, from his gritty, career-defining role in The French Connection to his commanding presence as the coach in Hoosiers. His impact on film was undeniable, and his sudden death has only deepened the mystery surrounding his final days. Santa Fe, New Mexico, a quiet enclave for artists and Hollywood elites, now finds itself at the center of yet another high-profile investigation. The same sheriff's office handling Hackman's case was also responsible for investigating the Rust movie set shooting involving Alec Baldwin. With initial reports downplaying foul play, only for questions to mount in the hours following the discovery, the circumstances surrounding Hackman's death remain murky. As the investigation unfolds, one question lingers. How did one of Hollywood's greatest icons meet such an unexpected and unsettling end? The Santa Fe Sheriff's Office has stated there is no evidence of foul play in the deaths of legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. But the circumstances surrounding their passing are anything but ordinary. Authorities are now faced with a tragic and puzzling case, as more questions arise about what truly happened inside their secluded $3.3 million estate. No one had reportedly seen Hackman or his wife for about 2 weeks. Their absence wasn't immediately alarming. After all, the Hollywood legend had lived a quiet life away from the public eye since retiring from acting in 2009. But on Wednesday morning, a maintenance worker assigned to their high-end gated subdivision made a shocking discovery. Arriving for routine work, he noticed the front door was open. Something felt off. As he cautiously approached the property, he spotted what appeared to be lifeless bodies inside the home. Overcome with alarm, he placed a frantic 911 call, his voice filled with urgency as he struggled to describe what he was seeing. When sheriff's deputies arrived at the scene, what they found only deepened the mystery. Hackman was discovered lying in the mudroom, still dressed in a t-shirt, sweatpants, and slippers. His cane and sunglasses lay nearby, as if he had suddenly collapsed mid-step. Arakawa was found in a bathroom near a space heater with an open prescription bottle and scattered pills on the countertop. Their beloved German Shepherd was also found dead, inside a closet. Meanwhile, 2 other dogs were still roaming the property, seemingly unharmed. The front door had been left ajar, but there were no signs of forced entry. Nothing had been stolen. The home didn't appear ransacked. Investigators noted no visible wounds, no bruising, no blood, no immediate indicators of violence, and yet both bodies had already begun mummifying, suggesting they had been there for an extended period. This raised more concerns about how 2 seemingly healthy individuals, along with one of their dogs, could have suddenly died without any clear cause. At first, speculation turned to carbon monoxide poisoning. Hackman's daughter reportedly told TMZ that she believed this was the explanation, but when the local gas company and fire department tested the home, they found no leaks, no traces of carbon monoxide, and no toxic fumes. This only made the case more perplexing. Investigators have not ruled out the possibility that carbon monoxide could have entered the home through unexpected sources, such as cracks in the walls, windows, doors, or even the doggy door. But the presence of 2 living dogs at the scene made that theory less likely. With no definitive answers, speculation continues to grow. The same Santa Fe Sheriff's Office investigating Hackman's case is no stranger to high-profile Hollywood incidents. It was this very department that handled the Rust movie set shooting involving Alec Baldwin. Now, once again, they are faced with a case that has captured national attention, yet provides few concrete explanations. Authorities say they are keeping all possibilities on the table. As the investigation continues, one question lingers. How did Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog meet such an unexpected and unexplained fate? As authorities continue piecing together the final moments of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa, familiar names from past high-profile investigations have resurfaced. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Office, the same department that handled the Rust movie set shooting involving Alec Baldwin, is leading this inquiry. Even more notably, the case is being overseen by Detective Hancock, the same criminal investigator who handled Baldwin's case. While the circumstances are vastly different, Hancock previously faced criticism from a district judge for her methods in the Rust investigation. This time, however, the sheriff's office has been relatively transparent about their findings. The bodies of Hackman, his wife, and their German Shepherd have all been turned over for autopsies, which could provide much-needed clarity on the mysterious deaths. But for now, the puzzle remains unsolved. Authorities have ruled out obvious environmental factors. Fire department crews and the local utility company found no gas leaks, no carbon monoxide presence, and no other hazardous materials in the home. The discovery of an open front door only complicates the narrative, leaving more questions than answers. Without a clear cause, speculation has begun to swirl. Could Hackman have passed away first, leading his wife, who was known to be deeply devoted to him, to take her own life? The presence of an open prescription bottle and scattered pills in the bathroom where she was found has fueled such theories, though nothing has been confirmed. Until investigators establish a clear timeline and more details emerge, speculation will only continue to grow. For decades, Gene Hackman was a familiar yet unintrusive figure in Santa Fe. Despite being one of Hollywood's greatest actors, he lived like any other longtime resident, grabbing meals at local diners, shopping in neighborhood stores, and blending into the town's laid-back atmosphere. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, had even invested in a few local businesses, further embedding them into the community. Those who knew him described him as kind, unassuming, and someone who valued his privacy. But as the years passed, Hackman retreated further from public life. At 95, he had visibly slowed down, and his once regular appearances around town became rare. Still, in a place like Santa Fe, particularly in the ultra-exclusive gated enclave where he lived, this wasn't unusual. Many celebrities and high-profile figures call the area home, drawn to its breathtaking views, sprawling estates, and the kind of seclusion that allows them to live uninterrupted. His $3 million estate sat high on a ridge, offering panoramic views of the mountains and city below. The home's remote location meant that if he and his wife weren't venturing out, they could go unnoticed for long stretches of time. That's exactly what happened. For nearly 2 weeks, no one had seen or heard from the couple. In a more urban setting, such an absence might have raised alarm sooner, but in their private, self-contained world, it wasn't immediately cause for concern. It wasn't until a maintenance worker arrived to check on the property that the grim discovery was made. Now, as investigators try to untangle the events that led to their deaths, Hackman's peaceful retreat has become the center of a mystery, one where silence and solitude may have hidden a tragedy for far longer than anyone could have imagined. As the mystery surrounding Gene Hackman's death deepens, the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office finds itself once again at the center of a high-profile case, one that could reignite the same criticisms it faced during the Rust movie set shooting investigation. The very same detective who led the Baldwin case and whose methods were heavily scrutinized during that trial is now handling the Hackman case. The Rust case became a media firestorm, with the sheriff's office coming under fire for its handling of evidence and investigative procedures. Baldwin's defense team repeatedly questioned the lead detective's credibility, and the trial judge expressed outright skepticism about aspects of the investigation. In the end, the department faced a significant amount of backlash, both from legal experts and the public. Now, with another Hollywood tragedy unfolding under their watch, there's a renewed spotlight on their investigative process. The Hackman case presents a unique challenge. There are no signs of forced entry, no immediate evidence of foul play, and no clear explanation for how both Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found dead in their home. Initial speculation pointed to carbon monoxide poisoning, but that theory was quickly debunked after extensive testing revealed no leaks. The presence of an open prescription bottle and scattered pills near Arakawa suggests a possible overdose, but without a complete toxicology report, investigators cannot confirm whether drugs played a role. Then there's the bizarre detail of the couple's German Shepherd, found dead inside a closet, while 2 other dogs roamed the property unharmed. With so many unanswered questions, the sheriff's office is once again under immense pressure to deliver a thorough and transparent investigation. Given their history with the Rust case, internal scrutiny is likely higher than ever. Are they handling this correctly? Are they avoiding the mistakes that led to widespread criticism last time? With the world watching, every decision they make will be analyzed and questioned. For now, all eyes remain on the pending autopsy results, which could finally shed light on the cause of death. Until then, speculation will only grow, and the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office will once again find itself in the crosshairs of public scrutiny, forced to prove they are up to the task of handling yet another celebrity death. The investigation into Gene Hackman's death is raising familiar questions about the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office and its handling of high-profile cases. While this case is entirely different from the Rust movie set shooting involving Alec Baldwin, the connection between the two investigations is unavoidable. The same sheriff's office, the same lead detective, and another Hollywood tragedy, this time involving one of the most respected actors of all time. The Rust case was a legal and media circus, with Baldwin at the center of an accidental on-set shooting that resulted in the death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. The sheriff's office faced a wave of criticism for its handling of the case from the very beginning. Their response was widely scrutinized, with trial footage showing errors in evidence collection, investigative procedures, and how deputies initially assessed the chaotic scene at the movie ranch. Those missteps became key points of contention in court, where Baldwin's defense team, along with legal experts, questioned the credibility of the investigation. The trial judge also raised concerns about the approach taken by the lead investigator, who is now handling the Hackman case. Given that history, there's a heightened expectation that law enforcement will be extra meticulous this time around. If the Rust case taught them anything, it's that their methods will be dissected, and any misstep could once again be picked apart by legal teams and the public. While there are no reports of foul play in Hackman's case, and no witnesses to interview, this is shaping up to be an expert case, one where the cause of death will rely heavily on forensic evidence, toxicology reports, and expert analysis rather than traditional criminal investigative methods. The unanswered questions remain troubling. Why were Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, not discovered sooner? How did both of them, along with their dog, die in their home without any clear external cause? What role, if any, did the open prescription bottle and scattered pills play? And why were two other dogs alive while their German Shepherd was found dead in a closet? With speculation growing and autopsy results still pending, the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office once again finds itself under a microscope. This time, they cannot afford to make the same mistakes. As the investigation into Gene Hackman's death continues, authorities are now turning to pathologists and forensic specialists to provide answers where none currently exist. With no immediate signs of foul play, no forced entry, and no clear cause of death, this case will rely heavily on science to determine what really happened inside the secluded Santa Fe mansion. Autopsies will be critical in determining the exact cause of death for Hackman, his wife Betsy Arakawa, and their German Shepherd. Toxicology reports will likely play a major role, especially given the presence of an open prescription bottle and scattered pills found near Arakawa in the bathroom. Investigators will be looking for any traces of medication, poisons, or unknown substances in their systems. The condition of the bodies, reportedly showing signs of decomposition and early mummification, suggests they had been deceased for some time before being discovered, further complicating the timeline. Another crucial question is whether any security footage or digital records might shed light on their final moments. Were there surveillance cameras on the property? Did Hackman or Arakawa's cell phones register any outgoing or incoming communications in the days leading up to their deaths? Any digital footprint, texts, calls, emails, could provide a crucial missing piece to the puzzle. In many ways, the Hackman case shares similarities with the Rust investigation, not in circumstances, but in the way it is being handled. Both involve a Hollywood figure, an unexpected death, and an intense level of public scrutiny. However, this case lacks a clear act of violence or a high-profile figure facing criminal charges. Instead, what makes this story so gripping is the sheer lack of answers. It's the unknowns that have made this headline news across the country. How did two people and their dog suddenly die in their own home with no clear cause? With few immediate leads, the weight of this investigation now falls on forensic science to provide an explanation. Until the autopsy results come in, speculation will only grow. In Santa Fe, a city known for its quiet luxury and celebrity residents, the death of Gene Hackman has sent shockwaves through the community. While the town is no stranger to famous names, many Hollywood elites own second or third homes there, Hackman was different. He wasn't just a part-time visitor, he was considered a local. For years, the Oscar-winning legend was a familiar face around town. Unlike some celebrities who crave isolation, Hackman embraced the city's laid-back culture. He ate at the same diners as everyone else, shopped at local stores, and was never one to put on airs. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, invested in local businesses, further cementing their ties to the community. Santa Fe has long been a place where high-profile figures can go about their lives undisturbed, and Hackman was no exception. People respected his privacy, but he was well-liked, known as a down-to-earth and genuinely kind person. However, as the years passed, Hackman withdrew from public life. About a decade ago, he stopped appearing in town altogether. Those who once saw him regularly noticed his absence, but it wasn't questioned. He was in his 90s, after all, and likely slowing down. But now, with his mysterious passing dominating headlines, Santa Fe residents find themselves looking back, piecing together the last memories they have of a man who had quietly become one of their own. While his career cemented his place in Hollywood history in Santa Fe, he was more than just a legend, he was a neighbor. And today, the town is mourning not just the loss of an acting icon, but the loss of one of their own. Gene Hackman's passing feels surreal, partly because, for decades, he seemed almost ageless. From Hoosiers to Behind Enemy Lines, his presence on screen was commanding, steady. He always looked the same, always carried that undeniable gravitas. But in recent years, time caught up with him. The rare sightings of Hackman in public showed a frailer man, walking with a cane, a stark contrast to the powerhouse figure many remembered. Now, as authorities work to uncover the truth behind his and Betsy Arakawa's deaths, the wait for answers has begun. Autopsies are crucial in cases like this, but they are rarely quick. Santa Fe's Office of the Medical Investigator already faces a backlog, and the timeline for results remains uncertain. The process starts with a field investigator assessing the scene before passing their findings to a pathologist, who then conducts a full autopsy. Toxicology screenings, which could be key in determining if medication or another substance played a role, can take even longer. Until those reports come back, many of the biggest questions surrounding their deaths will remain unanswered. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Office is under immense pressure to handle this case correctly. With the criticism they faced from the Rust movie set investigation still fresh, they know that every step they take will be scrutinized. Public interest in Hackman's case is enormous, and they are well aware that any misstep could fuel further speculation. For now, everyone, including the authorities, can only wait. No one saw this coming, least of all the sheriff's office, which likely began their day expecting routine calls, not the sudden mysterious deaths of a Hollywood icon and his wife. The world wants answers. But in cases like this, the truth takes time. What do you think about Gene Hackman's death? Drop your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on this developing story.